Hello everyone, today I'm back with a updated crochet video on how to do double-sided crochet and also how to crochet the hairline. Here's a braid pattern that I use. I saw this on Miss Willow World's page, the inventor of the Vixen crochet, a few months back, and I absolutely loved it because I have long hair and it's really helpful if you have clients with long hair because it allows your crochet to lay flatter. So you would want to braid and tack down the end of the braid a lot better than I did, but I was just trying to get this done as soon as possible. And I'm just showing you how I cornrow, and don't do your cornrow like this, how it doesn't start at the hairline, because this will be difficult when you start doing the invisible hairline. And of course you'll need a latch and hook needle and some bulk hair to do this hairstyle. With the LARKS head knot, I've done 3 tutorials on it, so it's pretty self-explanatory. You'd pierce through and then you just pick a spot adjacent, not in the same area that you pierced before, and hook both strands of your bulk hair of your choice and just pull through, and it will just go through the loop. And for this hairstyle, you'll also have to do it on both sides in order to get the double-sided knotless crochet effect. And here's a better angle if you want to see the correct placement of the crochet needle in order to do the LARKS head knot. The single chain crochet is almost exactly like the LARKS head knot, except when you pull through, you want to keep your fingers separating the 2 strands, because when you re-pierce, you'll only be grabbing one strand instead of both of them. So hook your one strand and pull it through the loop on the other side. Now this is not one of the most secure methods. It depends on the texture of your hair. The rougher the hair, the more secure it will be, but I like to tie a knot. I like to get 2 strands and then bring them together and then split them again and double knot them, because I feel like doing it this way gives you more security. Here is a better look at the single crochet, where you can see how I placed my needle underneath the cornrow or my crochet hook. So after you pierce, you can choose to re-pierce on the left or right side depending on where you have space, but I'm going to pierce on the left side. And I'm giving it a nice tug, because if it slips out, that means I didn't pierce in a good spot. And I'm just going to pull that underneath, and there it goes, double-sided. And here is the figure 8 knot. So you'd pull through and you'd have a nice loop, and then you can choose whether on the right or left side to re-pierce, and you'd only choose one leg. One strand or leg of the crochet here, and pull through so that you'll have a loop and a strand on each side. So just make sure each loop has enough space to pull through the strand, and go place your fingers in the loop and just pull the crochet strands from the back. This is actually one of the first crochet methods that I modified from the figure 8 knot, and I drew a diagram. It was actually really hard to figure out how to put this into motion and transfer it from my drawings. So here it is again. You want to pull through, you'll have a nice loop, and also for this method you want to make sure you keep your index finger between the 2 strands so you don't get them mixed up. then re-pierce to the left or right side wherever you have space, and pull through and hook only one strand, keeping your finger to make sure it makes a nice loop instead of going fully through. And then you'll have what looks like a bow, and place your finger through, and place your finger through each loop and grab the strands of the crochet on the other side. And this is the granny stitch. I'm showing here a tuning fork braid, which I did, and this is great for when you do parts. And so for the granny stitch, it's almost like the figure 8, except you use 2 strands instead of 1. So now that I pulled through for this loop, I'm going to pierce at an angle and go through the first loop. And then my other hand, I'm going to place the crochet hair, and I'm not going to pull fully through. I'm just going to pull enough where I have a nice loop that can fit my fingers through. Now, if you watched my previous crochet video, you know for this method I would pull one leg at a time, but I found that it wasn't secure at all, so I realized that by putting both legs it's way more secure. So again, pierce and pull through where you have a nice loop, and then make sure the crochet strands are even on the other sides as well. I'm going to pierce at an angle and put my crochet hook through the loop, and then I'm going to attach the other strand of crochet hair, and then pull through. On the right side, the legs are already through the loop, so you would only need to put the hair through the loop on the left side by placing your fingers through and then pulling it through the loop. And there you have it, it's nice and secure. And this is how to crochet the hairline. When I first started crocheting hairline, I used to do the single chain crochet, but I didn't like how, since it's double-sided, when it wouldn't fall correctly on the hair, so doing the LARKS head is my favorite way to do the crochet hairline. So as you know, you pierce and re-pierce and then pull through. When you're doing crochet hairline, it is, I don't know how many times I can say it's enough, you want to use a small needle. Somewhere in my house I have a crochet hook that's meant for crocheting fine yarns, for example, that you use to make crochet lace. So this is, by using a smaller needle, your client will thank you for sparing their hairline and their edges. So crocheting the hairline is pretty self-explanatory because you're basically doing the LARKS head, and instead of piercing through underneath the braid, you would pierce through the actual braid itself. I hope that's easy to understand. So right here, when I'm going to re-pierce, I'm piercing through the actual braid instead of under. And by using a smaller needle combined with smaller pieces of hair, this would be a lot easier to do. And already the hairline is already forming. And one of the most important things for when you want to do your hairline, make sure you don't braid in the edges completely so you can release some tension on your client's hairline, and also it ends up looking more natural. So here I have the curved braid. So this is how to do the edges. I find that curving the braid when you braid near the edges definitely helps release tension, but do whatever you prefer. So here I'm simply doing the LARKS head knot. This part is sped up a little bit because I thought it was pretty self-explanatory, where you pierce through, re-pierce in a area adjacent, and then close your latch and then pull through. right before the curve starts, I'm starting to do the single chain crochets because right here, if you did the lark's head, it wouldn't cover the top of the braid, and since the lark's head on the sides, there's not much to cover, but over here you definitely would want to do double-sided crochets when you get to the perimeter of your hair. And now I'm just going to fill in the rest by doing the same technique. This is super simple and super easy. I'm pretty sure you could use other crochet methods to do the crochet hairline, but I find this way is the quickest, and also and when I do it on a real human being's head, it also creates less tension than all the other ways. So I'm just completing the nape area using the same technique as I did with the front with the lark's head, not by piercing through and then re-piercing through the braid. There's not much to see here, but I just want to say thank you to everyone that watched the previous crochet videos. Unfortunately, this will be my final crochet video in, I guess, my crochet series. I'm so thankful for all like the nice messages I got from everyone and anyone who just sat and watched through me just with a crochet needle doing crochet. Like this video if you like it. You don't have to just subscribe based off this video, because now my channel will be dedicated to more beauty, fashion, and I guess Q&As and I don't know, other stuff. But I'm just so thankful for all the support I've gotten from anyone who's watched this video. I'm like so thankful, and so guys, thanks so much and have a nice day.